Hello, my name is Barry Shore, Professor Emeritus at the University of New Hampshire and Head of Product Development here at SSGI. Traditional approaches to management have long been associated with large organizations, formal bureaucratic structures, and the dominance of implicit rules that guide relationships and behavior. But as organizations have become challenged with more complex competitive environments and faster-moving markets, this traditional approach has failed to deliver the results needed to maintain their competitive positions. Why has it failed? One reason is that this top-down management style has proven to be too rigid. Many organizations have moved away from this traditional model of management. One fundamental change has been a move toward a more democratic or inclusive management style. The other change is the explicit way it addresses the uncertainty of the organizational environment. Markets, consumer tastes, technology, and processes are never static. They change, and here is where Agile has filled the gap. 12 concepts define Agile. They include complexity, flexibility, customer focus, interdisciplinary, innovation, communication, team diversity, high-performance teams, experiments, feedback, change management, and negotiation. Let's look closely at each of them. First, complexity. Many projects, processes, and problems are complex. They can be complex technically, complex because they involve many steps, or complex because they require the involvement and collaboration of many individuals. To actively engage in these complex situations, it is important to understand them thoroughly, but understanding them at this level often requires that they be broken down into smaller problems. Once the parts and their interrelationships are understood, the next step is determining how these pieces fit together. Then the challenge is to simplify the situation in a way that preserves the essence of the complex challenge. So decomposition, integration, and simplification are all important concepts in Agile because they help us understand processes. The second is flexibility. Agile requires flexibility. Only through a flexible approach can it be possible to adapt to the challenges that inevitably occur as the organization pursues its goals. Unless flexibility is an integral part of the management process and an integral part of the leadership process, there is no Agile. But maintaining a flexible approach is not always easy. When it is necessary to choose a new direction that is quite different from the current one, the shift can be an obstacle that is difficult for many to overcome. Nonetheless, those who practice an Agile style must become aware of any resistance to change. They must do their best to remain flexible when dealing with plans, flexible when dealing with peers, flexible when dealing with customers, and flexible when dealing with others in the organization. The third is customer focus. In an Agile environment, the focus never moves very far from the customer. Here is the problem. If the customer needs have not been adequately captured during product or process design, and it is later learned that there is a mismatch between stated and actual needs, those who follow a more traditional approach may deliver the wrong product or service. Here are a few suggestions that can help in maintaining a customer focus. Listen to the customer before engaging in product or process design. Demand evidence and avoid opinions as much as possible. Engage with customers. And finally, make decisions using hard data. The Agile professional welcomes help from people across the organization. To deliver a successful product, it helps when the team reaches out to these individuals and engages them in what we call an interdisciplinary approach to problem solving. For example, a team whose objective is to design a state-of-the-art solar collector would certainly benefit from the help of the engineering department, supply chain department, information systems department, and marketing department. Fifth is innovation. One of the major advantages of an Agile approach is that it not only places the focus squarely on the customer, but facilitates the kind of innovation that exceeds expectations. It accomplishes this by creating a working environment that is free from restrictive structure, procedures, rules, standard operating procedures, and bureaucracy. Number 6, communication. Maintaining a customer focus and an eye toward innovation will only work when open communication channels prevail across all stakeholders, including those within the organization and customers outside the organization. But maintaining open communication requires that those within the organization not only talk, but listen. In an Agile environment, two-way communication is basic. Number 7, team diversity. There are at least 2 levels of diversity, functional and human. Both are necessary for building diverse teams. First is the creation of an interdisciplinary team. It includes members from one or more of the functional areas in the organization. In this way, the links between such areas as supply chain, operations, marketing, customer service, and information technology are formally established. We can call this functional diversity. Second is the inclusion of individuals who bring a wide range of backgrounds, characteristics, and life experiences to the team. These individuals represent different races, ages, religions, genders, abilities, and sexual orientations. We call this human diversity. Team diversity assures a range of views and better outcomes. Number 8 is high-performance teams. Teams are often teams in name only. They include a group of people working together in a conventional or traditional way and under the watchful eye of a team leader or manager. They frequently deliver adequate, but not necessarily excellent outcomes. On the other hand, a high-performance team can deliver excellence. These teams include a small but manageable group of people with multiple and complementary skills who are self-directed, strongly motivated, and committed to exceeding customer needs and customer satisfaction. Number 9, experiments. Visions for new products or processes begin with an idea, often a single idea. And in most situations, that idea is untested. So the likelihood that it will deliver a real success is not high. Success will be uncertain. This risk can be reduced by conducting experiments in which several ideas are tested. This way, a choice can be made among many alternatives, each supported by hard data collected from the marketplace. For this reason, experiments are encouraged in Agile environments. They are encouraged to test products, operational processes, website designs, supply chain options, and promotional programs. Number 10, feedback. Because the concept of Agile is rooted in customer needs, and because those needs may change and develop over the life cycle of a project, feedback is essential. Without it, projects risk staying the course and delivering results that eventually fail to meet the needs of their end users or customers. It turns out that responding to feedback and initiating action can be challenging. It is challenging because feedback can be disruptive and even lead to delays and budget overruns. Sometimes it can result in the cancellation of projects. And it can also be challenging because the leader may not be flexible enough to respond appropriately. While we can agree that feedback is essential, it will not affect outcome unless the leader is flexible. Number 11, change management. Changes are inevitable and they can be disruptive. They can be disruptive to process flows and the work patterns of those engaged in these processes. In an agile environment, these disruptions are carefully managed. The problem is that change is commonly resisted. Few of us welcome the kind of changes that affect how we are expected to do our work or the people with whom we come into contact. It is part of the human condition that we prefer the comfort, stability, and safety of the status quo. But progress does require change. John P. Cotter, Professor Emeritus at the Harvard Business School, proposed an 8-step process for managing business change. 4 are summarized below and provide guidance on how to deal with this inevitability. Establish a sense of urgency. Create a guiding coalition. Develop a vision and strategy and communicate the change vision. Finally, number 12, negotiation. Resistance, conflict, and differences are common, but occur at all levels in the organization, from the executive suite to frontline workers. Most of the time, but not all the time, these differences can be resolved through negotiation. While not every side may get its way, a reasonable solution may be reached in the hands of a skillful and flexible agile leader. Reaching a negotiated settlement requires engaging the other side and then maintaining a collaborative and flexible attitude as differences are explored. While negotiation may not satisfy everyone's position, it may satisfy their interests. And as long as flexibility is maintained, satisfying interests may not only be possible, but reaching a consensus will contribute to maintaining group commitment and direction. At the very least, the effective management of a negotiating process will ensure that everyone has been heard. Is there a limit to the scope of Agile? Can it be scaled to the entire organization? Is it possible for the organization as a whole to support an Agile approach? The answer is yes, with some exceptions that might include accounting and human resources. But where it can be implemented, some interventions such as coordination across teams will be necessary. That's it. If you have found the material in this guide interesting and useful, consider becoming professionally qualified in Agile. Six Sigma Global Institute has 2 Agile certification courses from which to choose. Because the origins of Agile evolved from the challenges of managing software projects, one category of courses integrates the concepts of Scrum with the practice of Agile. It focuses on applying the Agile approach to managing projects, not just software projects, but all projects. At SSGI, we call this our Agile Leadership Certification Program. This would be a proper choice for those who will be engaged in projects. The second certification course, Agile, primarily focuses on applying this approach to the management and leadership process. It evolved because the principles first applied to software projects have proved equally effective when applied to all phases of management and leadership. This certification program, however, still includes a chapter on Scrum, since those who practice Agile are often engaged in managing projects. That said, it primarily focuses on applying Agile to management and leadership. It is recommended for those engaged in or preparing for these roles in their organization. If you are considering a certification course in this area, you may have two questions. How difficult are the courses, and how long will they take? The answer depends on several factors. First, it depends on where you begin. Once you have completed this guide, you are already well on your way, and the full course offered by SSGI is no more difficult. The full course, including the certification exam, should take at most 1 month, as long as you are willing to put in a few hours each evening. To accommodate your busy schedule, both the course and certification exam are online and can be accessed at your convenience. Agile courses are not the only ones offered by SSGI. Here is a list of courses from process management to leadership. Click below for more information.